My name's Dan. One of the things I do is give people advice about enterprise architecture, and part of that advice can be in the form of formal training, including training for TOGAF certification. So what is the TOGAF Standard? Why would you care? Well, here's why you would care. Badly planned, badly governed, badly executed are not the words you want to hear about flagship technology projects, about digital transformation, about how you get to grips with this AI thing that everyone's so excited about at the moment. Who do you trust not to make a mess of it? There's a bank in Europe right now that has 200 DevOps tool chains in production. What's a DevOps tool chain, you might ask? Let's just say that 200 of those in your house means that you have massive technical debt. You have a huge mess created by ungoverned technology spend, and cleaning it up will cost the shareholders a few tens of millions. In the 1990s, I knew people who spent $100 million on transformations that put their companies out of business. How did they achieve that? By not understanding the business and focusing on the cool technical stuff. There are also people like me who somehow managed to design and implement a $60 million transformation, all new technology that worked, that outperformed our 14-month hurdle rate target. Technology-based change doesn't have to crush the bottom line. The TOGAF Standard was invented to capture what people like me knew about and had proven they knew about transformation, and to formalize that into a repeatable method that would help prevent bad outcomes that led many companies into the ditch. In my TOGAF course, I'll tell you about how that works, what to do and what not to do, and spoiler alert, it's not about coding, it's not about technology products, certainly not about Hail Mary technologies. It's about people, it's about money, and it's about guiding change toward value. I had a call a few weeks ago with a new enterprise architect who had been hired into a company that was working on their IPO coming up soon. Let's get the company on the stock market, get the share price as high as it can be on the strike day, is the whole thing that the owners of the company were thinking about, to go from private to public. The reason for the call was he wanted to show me some diagrams he had done, architecture diagrams, and they were very good, very well executed, very clear. But I said to him, if you show this to the executives, to the owners, the people who are working on the IPO, what will they think? Does this answer a question that they have or not? Do the actions implied by this diagram increase the strike price on the IPO date? Do I believe that can happen? Then I love it. Do the actions implied by this diagram reduce the strike price on the IPO date? Take it out and shred it. Is this diagram about something that doesn't affect the strike price on the IPO date? Boring. TOGAF Standard is the most widely adopted enterprise architecture framework in the world. 80% of Fortune 500 companies, all the major public sector organizations know about it. A lot of them require it in their job specs. The TOGAF Standard and methodology is also widely misunderstood by critics and by champions alike. It is also widely misunderstood by a lot of the people who are selling you generic commodity TOGAF training so that you can get a certificate, and they're doing that by having someone read you some slides. The TOGAF Standard is a cookbook for strategy chefs. It's not a study guide for getting a ticket. A beginner needs to understand the table of contents and how the simpler recipes are structured. And if that's all you know, you can probably pass the exam. But the point of it is, for the master architect, it creates a governed space for innovative leadership, for helping business leaders manage technology change at scale with a team that's focused on optimized value. How does TOGAF certification help, and what is it good for? Well, to begin with, a TOGAF certificate only demonstrates that the learner can explain what's in the cookbook and has learned the TOGAF language. That's all. But it's not nothing. Enterprise architecture job specs increasingly require TOGAF certification, even though a lot of the people who have these tickets don't actually know what they're doing, even though a lot of the people who trained them only taught them how to pass the exam. But even so, this shows the candidate has at least passed the first hurdle in a long race. That's comforting if you're the employer about to spend $100,000 a year or more on a new employee that you've never met and can't be quite sure of. Does the certification mean that you can lead an EA team after 4 days of training or organize a complex strategic plan for transforming the business? Not at all. Not because of the 4 days of training. In the Army, I had to learn how to take the rifle apart and put it back together. Did that make me a sharpshooter? No. It just meant that I had a foot on the path. After you finish taking TOGAF training with me, what will you know that you didn't know? What skills might you acquire? Well, you will be able to answer questions about the cookbook on the exams. But beyond that, I hope you will make some progress toward becoming an effective translator, researcher, pathfinder, communicator, someone who will increasingly be able to help your organization make better choices and avoid falling off the cliff. This is the enterprise architect mindset. It's not about coding. It's not about any specific technology. So I asked the AI, because we all asked the AI, I said, AI, what do you think I should say in this video? And I got AI answers like, mention your famous clients, okay? ServiceNow, DXC, Shell, Siemens, more you've heard of. That's all wonderful. You need social proof. It said, mention that I'm an active participant in the on-development of the TOGAF Standard on the committee, having a say, all true. It said to mention my focus on business value over technological goodness. Now we're talking. That's what lights me up. Small class sizes, so we have real discussions. Yep, and it's accredited, and you get the exam vouchers. All good. But remember the point. Remember what this is for. Come to my training if you would like to be a participant in a positive way of working and a positive mindset that is really genuinely about helping your organization to be more successful and more effective in an increasingly complex world. That's what enterprise architecture is about. That's what the TOGAF cookbook is for. I hope to see you soon.